Hello, I bought some locks without keys. Used locks. One Sento and then 10 Exec. This Sento, those I have picked more earlier also, but this Sento I bought, this was with some different key profile. None of my Sento keys fitting to this lock. I don't know what key profile this is. This was something. First I picked it with this my Sento pick. No, this is not Sento pick. That's Exec. First I picked it. I picked it with my Sento pick. Seems that this my pick design is also able to pick this key profile that I have never seen before. So this was quite smooth picking experience and lock was in good condition. No problem with this. This was nice. Then next ones were two Execs and these were with this wide key guiding element. So my pick design fails. This my original Exec pick design fails with this that has wide key guiding element. So for this I use this similar as this export Exec pick is. And in order to be able to pick this, I had to shape this. I have this thing to open the lock. So to be able to insert the pick to the lock, I had to do this small shaping here. So I had to this first. So this key guiding element, as you see here, it's wide. This space between these things, it's wide here. This is wide. So there is enough, plenty of space for this export Exec pick, but this first disc is narrow. So I shaped it with filing, and okay, it does not take very many time, and then this is able to fit through this first disc, and then possible to pick it with this. Because problem with this my normal Exec pick is with this locks that this my picking tip is dropping to this wide space there. How to put it here? Maybe I just leave it somewhere, so no need to do it now. So this went also smooth, these two ones, no problems, and pick functioned nicely. Then next one was evil lock. This one, not this one. Yes, this one was evil lock. So first I tried to pick it with my Exec pick. It was very not easy moving anything here. So there was some dust and something inside the lock, so it was not very smoothly moving at all. So what happened there was that this evil lock, it broke my rear tensioner. This, so originally here is not this but this. So this tiny small piece should be in front of this pick here. Can I? So it should be like this here. Not like this, but like this here. But it broke inside this lock. Luckily I was able to get this out from the lock. So it's this one here. So this broke. I have never faced this before, but it seems that even if you make a rear tensioner based on the key, if lock is very dirty and dusty, it may break it. And then, okay, this was not the only problem I noticed. Then I remember that some fellow locksporter has got this idea that if you add this kind of piece of key, or you can shape it with some other material also, I have made this based on key, so it's the key tip. If you insert this to the rear end of the lock, it's preventing exec from overturning, and then you can use front tensioning pick without problem with this first disc overturning. And then, okay, I tried this then. So I put this inside lock to the bottom rear end of the lock. I glued it here, so I was able to move it there. And then I placed it there, and then okay, I tried to use this pick, and then what happened was that when it was inside the lock, it bended the key guiding element, because I think it was tensioning lock from the rear end and I had to use many force to do the tensioning, but I was tensioning it from the first disc and it was giving force to the rear end of the lock through key guiding element, and it bended like this. So then I had this piece of metal in the rear end of the lock behind bended key guiding element. I was not able to get it out from the lock. So then I had to think what to do then next, because I think this lock was kind of broken, because there was this piece of metal in the rear end of the lock and I was not able to get it out from the lock. Okay, then I decided to make small drilling here. So I drilled this small hole here where this screw that is preventing this lock opening is located, and then I made this small drilling here, and then I drilled through this. So normally it's like this here, something like this. So I drilled through it, and then I was able to cut the lock and then recover this piece of metal that was in the rear end of the lock. And now if I show it, so what is here? I remove this. I just want to show how this one trick is functioning. Even I failed with that. It's quite interesting. Oh, I see it interesting. So I remove it here. This. Then for some reason I have noticed that if lock is very dusty and not easy to open, if I heat it with gas burner, then it's easier to open. Maybe it's burning the dust, and then I think that it's affecting somehow to this spring when I heat it. Then its spring is kind of getting smaller or something. I have not measured it, but I believe that it's affecting something there. Okay, so now I want to present with this how this thing functions. If I insert this small thing here, not this way, or I think it's this way. If I insert this small thing here, on which side? I don't remember. So I think this is like this. So it's like this. Okay. Oops. like to show how it's, why it's not fitting. Okay, now it's in the rear end. Now if I tension from the first disc, this is not overturning. So now I can tension it from the front, and it's using only this to tensioning, so this is not overturning. But now my problem was that this was very dusty and not easy turning lock, and I used many force here with this, and it was not tensioning from this, it was tensioning on here through this key guiding element, and it was stuck this key guiding element, and I was not able to get. Maybe if I take this now out, I can show how it functions without this in the rear end. So now you see that it's here. If I remove this from the lock, oops, I think it was not this tight when I used it. Maybe it was, I don't remember correctly. So if I put this now back here, is it like this? And now I try to tension here. So you see that now if I tension, oops, now if I tension, this is going here, and it's not tensioning from the rear end, but except it's tensioning here. And then if this is overturning, then this is not at the through gate. Some people say that it's not making any problem, but at least for me it's making a problem if these are not aligned. So instead of this I prefer rear tensioner, but if this would have functioned, this would have been a nice solution. But now this lock was so dirty, so when I inserted it here, it does the trick. So I can use front tensioning. This is not overturning, this is correctly at the gate here. But then the problem here is that if it's like this, then this was bending and I was not able to get it out from the lock. So I did this small drilling here. Now nice thing is that if you look, I can still add the new screw if I have. Oops, let's zoom out a bit. If I put here a new key, okay, not now, I need to first release this a bit. Now I can put this here, and it's possible to get there like this. And now if I put this also here, so I think this is still usable lock. Then I was thinking that I add the piece of 4mm diameter steel bar here. This is what I use in Abloy Exec Classic as rear tensioner. Now if I put it here, oops, like this, and then I think it was like this. And now I can again put it, this screw again here, and now it's fix it. And now if the lock is locked like this, you cannot get the screw out there. And then here I add this piece of 4mm diameter steel bar. I hammer it there and then shape it. So I think it's quite nice. But this I had to do for this evil lock when this broke my rear tension. Then after this, what I did, I had to do a new exec rear tensioner from a new key. So I shaped a new key for this exec picking. Then I picked this rest of the locks. These were not so, many of these were in better condition. These were not so dusty as this first one had. I had no big problems with these rest of the locks too big. So this was this video story, some learnings from the locks, and I hope you enjoyed watching this not so well prepared video. Have a nice day, bye.